Last one. Right, hello and welcome back to anyone that might have been watching us and got rudely interrupted by the fact that we got disconnected because Discord decided to throw a hissy fit. So anyway, we'll jump back in and we'll try and get back on with the game. So yeah, you guys were having your discussion with Auric and the other dragons, and found out that Omnia, the bronze dragon, had an altercation with Vestra. Vestra being who you know as Valerie. She and had claimed to have killed her.
I'm not sure we're showing the stream.
Oh, I just heard myself. So I don't know if... Am I on the stream?
You are, but...
Oh yeah, you're not showing on the stream. Yeah, that's weird. You'll be able to be heard. Because it's thinking, but you're not on the screen there. That's weird. Oh well, that's probably more Discord stuff. You can still be heard, because if you talk, it comes up on my microphone thing. So...
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's alright. You can still be heard. But then it turns out that he didn't actually check that she was dead. So, because he feared for his horde, and so he feels a bit embarrassed and ashamed by that. You then started talking about other things, and talking about sort of like the what has sort of been going on within the Thieves Guild and what someone might want for an ascension, requiring a lot of gems. He said that was very vague, and that it could be an ascension for most things. You then went on to talk about the dragon's heads and the significance of those, to which he kind of, when you couldn't hear me because of Discord, he went to stop you and was actually asking what dragon's heads. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. What?
I'll regale him of the knowledge of the black dragon disease, the green dragon disease, and the red dragon disease.
I'm aware of those. I did everything that I could to stop the disease from getting as far as Ashenoak, protecting this place. But
it's where Dondon fell, and where I saw Bahamut.
I'm aware of but I wasn't aware of dragons' heads.
There were like statues, and one of them...
There weren't statues, were there? There were actual heads.
I thought there were statues.
No, they were actual heads.
Oh.
Yeah, because I vaguely remember Garroth butchering them. And they were using that to pour the poison into the water supply.
Wizards were using them as a conduit to supply the poison, but also it allowed them to channel and amplify magical effects.
I need the details of these dragons' heads.
Well, they used one of them to create an undead black dragon. It was very weak because it was undead, but we managed to best it.
Drocknock? He looks over to Krinkash and just says this, a name. And he says, Krinkash says, it sounds like him. Says, we only know of one black dragon that was killed quite some time. Well, not that long ago, actually, out in the Howling Hills, by an adventuring party sent by the kingdom. But
well, could be it. Actually, Garroth does have his armor is made of some of the dragon skull.
Oh yeah, look this.
Yeah, I picked it clean.
Huh. He kind of says, it's I mean, it's
identify it.
It's hard to tell a dragon from its skull.
I appreciate this might be a bit weird. Sorry.
It's fine. It's not the first time I've seen someone wearing dragon bone, so don't worry. In fact, he's not wearing it. Well, actually, he probably would, to be fair, even to a funeral. Did you say was it only? You said there were more than one. So there was a black dragon. What other were they all chromatic?
Red and a green.
A red and a green.
The green, I suppose. I mean, actually, if we do a quick memory check, thinking about the kind of facial features and stuff like that from when we saw Valerie do her thing.
Yeah.
When she actually turned into a dragon, was that her head?
Give me a history check.
16, 17.
17. It was
I'm
quite.
If there's maybe like a damaged plate on a face, or
it was quite difficult to ascertain, but it was an adult green dragon, and there aren't many of those around. It's very likely.
Okay, I'll say that then. I'm not the history on your kind of the dragons, but it was an adult green dragon head. I mean, I'd imagine the kingdom would have cleaned the place up from there. I mean, there was a weird shrine that was there as well that Gareth destroyed, and did I destroy it? I can't remember.
A shrine to who?
I'll describe it.
That sounds like Mammon.
That's the one. That's the ticket.
The deity of greed. The demon lord of greed.
So we've
a
got
green dragon head, a red dragon head, and a black
dragon head, and an undead.
It sounds like they've been picking off all the chromatic dragons. What for?
Well, the black
Oh, go on, sorry.
The black dragon disease, the green dragon disease, and red dragon disease came from these heads. They were trying to weaken the kingdom, turn the druid against the cities and the towns in the kingdom, and vice versa. They wanted the kingdom at war with the druids.
I mean, I guess if you're going to use dragon's blood to create a disease, that's, I guess the chromatic are the best of the bunch to do it. I'm not saying, well, I am saying, I do think that, they are probably the best ones to take, but I guess they're the ones that make themselves more readily available. They don't exactly hide away, the chromatic dragons. They like to push their existence upon the mortals, the civilized people. Let them know that they're there, assert their power. I guess if they got, they might have got what was coming to them. But
while Ulrich's doing this, I'd like to meet. While when we mentioned the other dragon skulls and everything else, I want to be keeping an eye on what's his chops,
Omnia.
Boy. Yeah, and just see if there's any emotion or anything like that. I mean, I appreciate he's an ancient dragon, so he's going to be hard to read. But if there's just any slip of a mask or anything like that.
Give me an insight roll.
Nope.
Nope.
No, it's
He's listening intently to everything that's going on and seems to be just as interested in what's going on as Ulrich and Lviv and Krinkash at this point. Ulrich will just says if they've taken out Threashton and Vestra and Dokruk, then that only leaves Jayar, the blue dragon. Well, save for the white dragon out in Oskia, but she doesn't come this far south. Huh.
Is there any links that you're aware of between Mammon and the Valors?
My mom was always revered by the Serpentkin. So, I guess...
I'm going to look over towards Morlin at this.
It's not, just to confirm, Phil, Amon's holding the serpentine body that's sort of consistent with D&D lore.
Mhm. Yes.
Cool. Do you mind if I ad lib?
You can sit. Yeah, go for it. If there's anything they say
Now-
that's inconsistent, I'll let you know.
Cool. So, I know Korvax that immediately would seem suspicious, but Mammon is a serpentine creature, much like Shekinester, worshipped by those with malicious intent of greed and destruction for self-betterment and selfish behaviour. Much like every species, there are those who follow the good path and the bad path. Unfortunately, Mammon has presented a bad path for many sentient creatures across many eons. Is Shekinester openly against Mammon? Is there anything to declare that I would be an enemy of Mammon immediately?
Part. Actually, give me a religion check.
Okay. That is a 23.
Okay, yeah. Part of Shekinester would be in line with Mammon, but only part of. You know that you obviously know of your teachings and things that she's the five-faced queen, and she's called that for a reason. You know, she has many faces and many different personalities, all of which have their uses over time. And it's always hard to tell which face that she is wearing until she shows her true intentions. And you do know that obviously, you know, with your you know, being your faith, you'll know that there is a chaotic side to Shekinester, which is less likely. It's, you know, it's less shown, but it has shown its face every now and then. And that would be
the face of the acquirer. No.
Hang on 1 second. Let me just get my notes because I wasn't expecting to go into Shekinester stuff. So let me just.
I love the fact that there's a full book for it. This guy will ask me questions.
Oh no, that's the wrong one. It's the five-faced queen, please. Because she was once known as the three-faced queen, which she's not anymore. There we are, the five-faced queen.
8 arrival.
So we have the Empowerer, the Preserver, the Acquirer, the Weaver, and there's one more. Where is it? Can't find it now.
Acquirer, Empowerer, Preserver, Weaver, Seeker.
Yeah. Aspects of the World Snake, the Preserver, the Acquirer, the Weaver, Empowerer. There's one more. Curious Seeker. Empowerer, Preserver, Acquirer, Weaver. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, yeah, the Seeker. Seeker. So, the one that is actually more in line with Mammon is the Acquirer.
Interesting. So, Morin stands by the fact that he disagrees with Mammon's intent of greed. And I'll jump back into an RP dialogue.
Yeah.
Although the face I worship is intent on the acquisition of knowledge and resources, I would not go to the extents that the cult of Mammon do to obtain their information and their resources. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same for my kin in the past.
I'm curious. This is Auric.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. Which aspect of the Five-Faced Queen do you associate with?
I am a student of the Acquirer.
Give me an insight roll.
That is a 19. Sorry, no, dirty 20.
A dirty 20. You notice Auric's facial expression kind of drop slightly in a judgmental way. Almost as if he doesn't approve. He doesn't say anything, it's just his face drops.
But the dirty 20 was enough for me to notice that.
Yeah.
I'll question it. I will say, you do not look most pleased with that information.
In my experience, the acquirer has only ever desired to control and possess technology and hide it away. The desire for control and the urge to possess and the aspect is to collect this information and lend it to be forgotten. As a cleric of Ioun, and as a priest of Ioun, I hold a very countered belief.
In context.
The mirror. Oh, go on, sorry.
No, go on, Jake, go on.
I was just going to say, as a apostle of Ioun, surely not all knowledge is meant for all people. Some knowledge should not be widely available.
Unfortunately, that is an issue with my creed, Corvax. I recently come across information, as you have seen, and the ability to artifice magic, to force Shekinesta's will through the power of empowered technology into this world. It is the way I am able to form my serpents, and Morin will cast Prestidigitation to sort of amplify this. It is the way I am able to channel so much of my power is through the study, specifically, of modifying gems to be able to take the magical energy I need from Shekinesta and allow me to do more with it than I could merely when I read her books, merely when I collected information for her. However, I do not believe that Shekinesta would grant me such power in the presence of people and with the actions that we have done to cause so much good to return to the world already. I do not believe she would do that with malicious intent. Although that may make me naive, as I will always follow the orders of the Five-Faced Queen, I do not believe she would have allowed me to leave that temple with the information I have.
I'm going to look almost pleadingly at Ulrich for this. Morin's always been there for us. While he has been secretive of his deity, and I'm just going to smile slightly.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been a very reliable ally, and I do trust him with my life, and I have.
I don't want you to take my judgment as an insult. I do not judge you upon your person. Your intentions must be good, especially if you have to come this far to protect the kingdom and your friends. But just how much do you know about the acquirer?
I know that the aspect of the Acquirer is amongst the most ruthless of the Five Faces. I know that she desires information that creatures with ill intent could obliterate this world with.
Hmm.
I know that forms of this were synthesized by priests of the Acquirer of old, and that it was required to be hidden away to save the possibility of our enemies taking that in-depth technology. And for a second, Morin pauses. The Yuan Ti caused the possibility of a destructive event in the past using our own studied technology against us, and thus the secrets were lost. I have been spending my entire life in the service of Shefanesta, collecting information so that she once again has the ability to protect this world. Technology it is not ready for.
I understand your intent, Malrin, but when knowledge is kept from people for good or ill, it leaves those who need to be defended from that technology unable to do so because they're not prepared for it. My family, as you know, worship Alistrade, but that knowledge, her existence, was kept from us for a long time, and she had to seek us out. And if she hadn't, then the Drow Society, I wouldn't be here today because knowledge was kept from us.
This is why I believe that the Acquirer has assessed a new purpose and uses me as a vessel, as part of our adventuring group, to further the aims of reintroducing technology that could change and improve the lives of everybody.
I'm intrigued by your notion, and I do hope that as you progress down this path, that we do see good things. The last time we saw the face of the Acquirer, that the progression of technology on this continent, it didn't just slow down, it halted. The last days of the Naga, within the first days of the humans, there was something. They saw something coming, and they put a stop to it. But in doing so, halted the progression of technology on this continent by a good 100 years.
Hopefully, we do not have to deal with the same consequences.
Well, one can only see what happens in the future, can't we? Anyway,
Exactly.
it's getting late. And I don't know about you, but it's been an absolutely exhausting day for me and for... And she looks over, and Lviv is asleep on one of the sofas. And she's been very quiet this whole time. She's just nodded off. Krinkash is still is sat there. He's sort of been watching and with intrigue over the whole conversation. And Omnir has been stood near the door the whole time. He's still been sort of expected to be told to leave, but just never came back around. He says, well, I hope you all don't mind, but I'd much like to call it a night.
Yeah, all right. I'll be brief, but could I have a word with you after everyone's gone, please?
Sure. Brief though, because I do have
Absolutely.
I have clergy in the morning, so
I'll be in attendance as well.
Oh, good.
Ayla, would you assist me in collecting some books from the library? I
Yeah,
know
of
for a
course.
fact I cannot carry all of them.
Yeah, can we get a book out on that religion that I'm reading up on?
Which religion? We have
Melora?
many.
Yeah.
We have some books on Melora. They're not exactly, but yes, we have books on Melora. You'll find them within the deities section.
Can you direct me to the nearest tavern?
Sure. I mean, if you're looking, how much do you have to spend?
Garroth just drops his sack of gold.
For Lord above, I use prestidigitation to make circles on the ground and say, Gareth, put the shiny big platinum ones in there.
He. Let me get on my thing. Taverns. Says, I mean, if you're looking for just a cheap night, and there's plenty of the, what did you call it? The bear fighter? Or whatever it's called.
Ah, yes, bear puncher.
The bear puncher, yes. There's plenty of bear puncher flows down at the Hollow Tree Inn. You probably have a good time down there. He looks and he's like, it's definitely your crowd, I think.
Oh, why? Do they like to fight?
There's a few ruffians down there, yes.
Oh, brilliant. I'll see you guys later then.
And Garroth wanders off.
Before you go.
Oh.
Before you go, Garroth, please do not murder an entire tavern in Raujin's hometown.
And Gareth, if you need any help, I'm at the library. I'll come and give you some backup if you need any help. All right. Just let me know if it gets hard.
I don't know if you forgot, Elar, but I did kill 2 dragons.
Yeah, okay. All right then.
Sorry, I forgot I was with dragons.
It's quite alright, as long as they were chromatic and not metallic, then we're okay.
I don't know.
Garroth does not know the difference.
Oh dear. Then Garroth wanders off. So
If I just give Garroth pocket money.
you did.
Side note, I want to
You
count his
did.
pocket money.
Yeah, you gave Garroth pocket money. Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
If you're heading down to the library, just make sure you're quiet. Mildred, who runs the library on an evening, she likes to keep a tight shift, and it's usually students that come down there, especially on an evening, the hard-working ones, who, want to get things done. But she's a bit of stiffler for the rules, so just watch out for Mildred. Make sure you stay quiet, okay?
Absolutely.
I don't want her coming up to
Absolutely.
bother me. After I've called her tonight.
We'll use our indoor voices, Ayla.
Okie dokie.
With that, Lviv, Omnia, and Krinkash will all crowd, go over to, to Alric, and they all have a very brief, farewell, and they all leave out through the front door. Excuse me, got a bit of a cut in my throat.
Thank them all for coming as well.
They respond, saying, in the same kind, so thank you as well. And they leave. Alric sort of stays, and he sits down. Raljin, where are you heading? Are you on mute? Am I by myself again?
No, I'm here.
Well, we're all here.
So, I know, sorry, yeah. So, Mulrin and Aylar are heading to the library. Korvax is sticking around. Garroth has gone drinking. Yarn is somewhere.
Have a problem if Raljin wants to stay. That's not an issue.
So, what are you doing, Raljin?
Yeah, I'll stick around, and we can then walk back home afterwards.
Okay. So, everyone else leaves. I'll say that Maureen and Aylar, you guys go down to the library. I'll come back to you two in a moment. And after the doors close, Alric just sees, obviously Raljin and Korvax have stayed behind. Alric just kind of folds his arms and just says, "So, what did you need to talk to me about?"
have a favour to ask you.
Sure.
Shouldn't be beyond your power.
Mhm.
I've done things that I'm not necessarily proud of. I'm sure you may have heard from Dondon what happened between us.
To be honest, no.
We had a misunderstanding. It was cleared up before his passing, thank Ayun. But I went down a slightly darker path, one that I'm not necessarily proud of. I've done things that I am proud of since, and I'm going to kind of just look over at Raljin. But I was hoping you may be able to help me with something, so I'm going to turn my back to him, take my, because I was dressed in my good shirt, take the shirt off, and I'll show him the tattoo with the silver wings and the eye of Ayun down my spine.
Mhm.
I got this after Father's passing, but I got this one in the time that we went talking. I'm going to just show him the Thieves Guild tattoo.
Huh.
Change is hard, but after seeing what I've seen, I think my path is no longer what this is. I was wondering if I could ask you to remove it, preferably with fire. There is some atonement needed. If that is something you would be willing to do.
I can do that, if you wish, of course. But I mean, it will hurt.
I'm aware. I
He
would much rather dedicate myself to Ayun and Bahamut going forward than whatever this was. And I'm actually going to look really ashamed of it. And I'm not hiding any emotions from Raljin or Alric.
I'll remove
Want
it for
to
you.
make him proud.
He takes his right hand, and you see it begin to glow a red, searing hot in his hand. And you almost see some of the dragon features sort of come through. It almost goes slightly clawed and scaly as he does it. And he takes the hand and places forward and just says, after 3, 1, and he places his hand on before he even counts. And give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
I rolled the second you started doing the fire thing. 17.
17. It's very, very hot. You do take because there is damage involved. You take 8, 10, 14 points of fire damage with this. As Raljin, the awful stench of searing flesh kind of fills the air, and you do let out a yelp, Korvax, as this goes on, and you kind of have to really grit your teeth to stop yourself from.
I'll grab his wrist
Yeah.
and to hold on.
And as he kind of holds on, you can see the sizzle, and he takes it off, and he kind of peels it slightly off as he takes it off, and kind of shakes his hand, and it kind of goes back to normal. You now have, at the moment, what appears to be a 5-fingered handprint, like searing on your back. The ink and everything has gone. It's replaced with scar tissue. Alric then takes his other hand, and it begins to glow a white light. And he goes over and places his hand over the scar. And there is a warmth, not a searing hotness, a nice warmth. And the skin, Raljin, you see, because it's you get a better view. You see the skin beginning to almost like fold in and sort of like smooth out underneath. And then he removes his hand, and the scar tissue's gone, as is the tattoo. And actually, the patch of skin that's there looks it's a little lighter in green. It's a lighter colour. It's not in a handprint or anything like that. It's just almost like a patch of skin there that's a much lighter colour than the rest of the skin, almost like it's brand new. So there.
As he pulls his hand away, and it's just that green, that lighter green skin. I say, that's a shame, because Korvax the Dragon Scar is kind of a cool name.
Yeah. Oh.
It actually starts to the burning sensation's gone, and it actually starts to feel a lot better now. Just if you're willing to walk the path of redemption, then certainly come and see me.
It's going to take time, and I'm just going to kind of hold out my arm and call for the little dragon, and it kind of goes up my arm and curls around my neck.
Mm-hmm.
I need to end this. When does service start in the morning?
5 a.m.
I'll be there with bells on.
Okay. Don't wear your best
Sure.
attire. We tend to just keep it casual.
I'd like to offer myself, if you need anything for the service as well. I did help Dondon occasionally.
I'm
Nothing
sure
anywhere as grand as this. But
I'm sure we can find something for you to do. Right.
thank you.
Oh, if our companions find their way back up here, they do know they're staying at my home, but they haven't been here long, so they may need directions.
You mean to the giant house on the hill?
You don't understand how easy Garroth gets lost.
Very well. If he makes his way back here, ratting on my door at an ungodly hour, I will direct him in the direction of the Whitewood estate.
Please, he's going to be passed out under a table. We'll have to go and get him in the morning.
Yeah, very likely. Well, thank you. This has been a emotional time for me. I can't imagine how it's been for you, Korvax.
Actually, it's been a good experience saying goodbye and knowing where he is now and how important he was to Ioun. Makes things a little easier.
It's nice to know that we've discovered another child of Ioun. I'll see you at 5 a.m. in the morning, which is in 7 hours, so go and get some sleep.
I'm going to bow, smile, and step out, and I'm going to have a spring in my step, almost like a weight's been lifted.
Okay.
I follow him outside. I would like to ask, what's the sky like? Is it clear? What can I?
It's a clear, starry sky. Yes, it's obviously late night, about 10ish, and yeah, it is a clear, starry sky. There's the odd spot of cloud here and there, but other than that, you can see. Let me check the calendar to see what moons you can see, because actually, I'm pretty sure it's not the distant moon that's in the sky at the moment. It's the nigh moon. The nigh moon is actually full in the sky tonight. So it's the larger moon, the closest moon, is full in the sky tonight, and it lights up. And as the moonbeams come down and hit upon the whitewood, it actually almost reflects off the shiny exterior of the whitewood trees, which gives Ashenoak almost almost like a ghostly illumination throughout, like a daylight illumination with a dark sky it's beautiful, really, to be honest.
I'm going to. So I'm saying this to Corvax. I'm going to stay up a bit longer. Maybe say a midnight prayer. Um, I'll walk you home, and one of the help can show you to your room.
You may be able to get some food for. I need to think of a name for you.
Oh, yes, of course.
No idea what he eats, but we'll see. We'll figure it out.
The
Oh, I'm sure he'll tell you.
what was that?
I said I'm sure he'll tell you.
You see, he kind of turns his head just, to you and just kind of makes like a screeching, clicking noise at you.
I'm just gonna smile. I got you, and he would never get me a cat or a dog. I'm just gonna be completely over the moon.
With that, as you guys leave, we'll go to Maureen and Ayla. So you two are in the library, and you're just sort of looking around. You can see that there are a couple of there's just I say a couple. There are two late night studiers that are sort of sat at desks, and they've got like piles of books, and they appear to be studying for something. And as you sort of as you're walking down past the aisles and past the shelves and shelves of books, it's not as big as some libraries that you've been in, Maureen. You've been in, like I say, it's not as big as, for example, the libraries at your temple. It's a little bit smaller than that.
Is it bigger than the libraries I've been in?
Probably. I don't know how many libraries Ayla's probably been in, but
Not many.
it's not as big as, let's say, the library in Fort Swordshaw, but it's definitely not as big as like your temple library. It's a modest size collection of knowledge, mostly adhering to the knowledge that is needed for the town of Ashenote to grow, essentially.
While I'm walking past the students, sorry Phil in advance.
Hey, no, it's all right.
While I'm walking past the students, what are they, like the one closest to me, what are they studying? I'm going to cast guidance on them so they can have a better time studying.
There's one of them who is studying. There's a book on the table next to him that's closed, but he's got other books open and writing. But there's one of the books called The Law of Lumber, and it looks like it's sort of the legalities of trade within the lumber industry. So it looks like he's probably training himself up to be sort of like almost like a clerical worker working within the Ashenoke, within the Whitewood business.
Okay.
So he's he looks he looks a little ragged and a little bit stressed himself. He's a half elven male. Sat there, he's kind of got one of his legs is shaking as he's writing. It's almost like and he bites the end of his like he's got it's essentially a pencil with a bit of charcoal, and he bites the end of it as he's writing. And it's almost like he's nervous about something that might be coming up soon. You can probably guess, maybe an exam or something.
So what I'll do is I'll whisper to him in Elvish. I'll cast guidance on him.
Okay.
And I will whisper in Elvish, have some honey or something sweet. Your body and brain will thank you.
Okay, as you
carry on walking with Ayla.
as you do that, he kind of looks up and looks at you, and then as you cast guidance and you say that, he goes, "That's it." And he just kind of it's almost like he has a little bit of an epiphany over something that he's been thinking about for so long, and he starts writing. But then as he says, "That's it," you hear, "Shh." come from a corner of the library, almost out of nowhere. You see this old human female, grey hair, quite thin lips, and almost like a round, dumpy nose. She wears glasses just over her eyes, and she's cocking an eyebrow, looking sternly towards this half-elven male, just as you walk past. This is Mildred. She's got some books in her hand, but she's looking, and this half-elven student just kind of looks at him and goes, "Hurry," and goes back to work and like whispers it, but then she like almost as if he'd broken something or done something really. She was very stern with him at that point. She then goes back to putting books on the shelf. If looks could kill, he'd be 6 feet under. She goes back to doing her duties as you walk on by, and this student is just getting on. It's almost like he's had an epiphany. Later on, you'll probably see him drinking some honey tea. You head on through the library, and you head to a section where it's the deities section. Is that one of the places you were looking? What exactly are you looking for?
Okay, so can I just make up some book names? Is that okay?
Of course you can. Yeah, I love it when you ad-lib book names.
So
I
I'm
need one. You
after-
can make that up as well.
So you're after a book on Melora, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so Morin thinks to himself, there was a tome known as the Lessons of the Free Willow. That taught the basic principles of balance in nature for Melora. That would be a good start for you, Alar.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you're going to go look for what did you call it? Sorry.
The Legends of the Free Willow.
I like that. The Legend of the Free Willow. Love it. And what are you looking for specifically?
I've got a couple of things I'm looking for. So I'm looking for a cartographer's book about maps of Accalia in the time in between the map I have from the vault and a current map. So I'm looking for an intermediate map to make some notes on.
Okay.
So I'm also looking. Morin has a think to himself, and he remembers Olimor's Guide to the Plains of Earth and Stone. It's a controversial book, but it will have the information about the requirements to summon creatures from the plane of Earth and other entities where the Zorns reside.
Okay. I like your knowledge as well. Chuck it in there.
And also, one more thing, I'll look for a book on managing stress with Elven anatomy, and I'm going to put it on that student's table as I walk past. when we walk back out.
Okay. So, you do indeed find the books that you're looking for. There's quite an extensive library here, and all the things are well within the remit of what can be studied. The books on the plane of Earth, you do find books on that with references to these creatures. It doesn't tell you how to summon them, for obvious reasons. It's otherwise anyone would be doing it. But it does say that it is possible to do so. It is obviously forbidden by scholars of the Incantus University. Obviously, summoning magic is only allowed to do so if you have either earned passage through a temple via a deity, or through the Incantus University via study. Any other use of magic for this reason is classed as illegal. The Zorn specifically, it does mention cases of Zorn that have wandered into the prime material plane via cracks within, cracks within the fabric of the material plane. It's very rare, and when it does happen, only ever one would ever come through. It's never been a case of like a group of them. They tend to be quite solid. They tend to, live in solidarity.
They're like solitary
Solitary
hunters.
creatures. That's the one. Yeah, they're quite solitary creatures. So, they're not pack hunters. They don't like live in groups. They're quite solitary in themselves. So, finding four, which is what you found, coming through at the same time within the same place, is very it's very unique. It's very uncommon. So
a high
it
degree of geomancy, Morin says to himself while he's uncovering the information.
it's very likely that these creatures have been summoned to that specific place for no other reason than to actually attack that cart. So something's happened there. Who's done it? Obviously these books aren't going to be able to tell you that. But anyone that knows how to break a portal into the plane of Earth would be able to do that. It's just whether you can acquire that knowledge or not. But I think what you really need to think about maybe is motive. At that point,
who would benefit the most from it?
Mm.
Okay. So in that instance, there is one more book that I wanted to collect. I've just remembered.
Okay.
This is again. They probably won't have it in this library because of the possibility of it being abused. But I'm looking for anything that discusses Mammon and the cult of Mammon.
Okay.
So maybe like a general histories, because I'm guessing from context, this is not the first time the cult of Mammon have been pissing about on the primordial plane.
It's not. So there will be mention of Mammon in some books, but and if let me just get my book, because I'll be able to tell you which book it is. Hang on a second.
I imagine Alar sitting with legs crossed reading the book. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's just sat there reading about his newfound religion.
Sorry, I'm back. So there is a book called Diabolical Cults, and there is a chapter in the book which alludes to Mammon. It's great because this is actually anyone that has Modern Canaan's Tome of Furs. I don't know if you've got it, Ash.
I don't know.
Never mind then. But I can tell you what it says in the book, because this is the information that you would be able to that you would find within this book. So it's not a full book on it. There's lots of different information in this book of diabolical cults, such as like the cult of Asmodeus, the cult of Beelzebub, the cult of Dispater, Phaneira, Geryon, cult of Glacia, the cult of Levitus, Mammon, Mephistopheles. Someone say it for me.
Mephistopheles.
Yeah, Mephistopheles and Zariel are all mentioned in this book as being, the cults that have been known throughout Accalia. And some of them that are just, it mentions like brief histories on them and what they're all about. As you go, you cut straight to sort of like the cult of Mammon. And Mammon at one point, was revered as almost like a god. Although his power and his influence was never officially God, like at the level of godlike. Because of his influence and his ability to empower mortals with extra abilities and things, he became revered as a god to those who sought out material power, so wealth. So the goals of a Mammon cultist is wealth secured not only by the promise of personal comfort and power, but also to deny the wealth and its benefits to others. So it's not good enough to be wealthy to someone that reveres Mammon. It's only good enough if others don't have it. So the typical cultists are usually sort of bandits or high nobles or spies. These are typical cultists of Mammon. They tend to so Mammon's. I'll read what it says. Mammon's greed overwhelms everything else. He deals with mortals who desire material wealth and provides them with the ability to spend that greed like an infection. The greedy Durgar and even some dragons are prone to falling prey to Mammon's temptations, and merchants and trade guilds are vulnerable to his bargains. Mammon's cultists gain usually grasping hands traits. So cult leaders can also gain the promise of wealth trait. So grasping hands, and this is just something. It's basically a boon that Mammon game gives to his followers.
I've read about this before.
Yeah. So as a bonus action, this is just game terms. Creature makes a dexterity or sleight of hand check contested by wisdom or insight check to any creature it can see within 15 feet. This creature succeeds, one handheld item of its choice it can see, the target is magically teleports to its open hand, and this item can't be one that the target is holding. It must weigh no more than 10 pounds. So it's essentially pickpocket at a distance that they can do. The promise of wealth. So up to 5 allies of this creature's choice become convinced that the target carries great wealth. Until the end of the creature's turn, those allies gain advantage on all attack rolls against that target, which I have actually used that one on you before, several times. The promise of wealth. So, yeah, it's from what you kind of get the gist with Mammon is, yeah, it's that that greed and that promise of material wealth at the expense of everyone else having it, which kind of fits the MO of veracity to a T, if you think about it.
Absolutely, I've immediately thought that.
Yeah, history-wise, like records of Mammon have not really been seen. So it's obviously they're whatever veracity are doing, they are operating under the radar. There's only ever been small sections of cults which revere Mammon, and they don't last very long because the greedy don't tend to get what they tend to get what's coming to them literally sometimes. So it's whatever veracity are doing, they're doing it well and they're doing it under the radar. That's kind of what you get from that. So yeah, that's Mammon.
Okay.
That's all the details you'll ever get.
Okay. That is entirely fine.
Yeah.
I will brief this back to the party when we're ready. I'll prepare my thoughts and come out with a couple of ideas. Cool.
Okay.
And, yeah, with that, I will walk past Aylar, unless there's anything else Aylar wants to look for in this library.
I'm happy I've got my book. Do we have to pay for it?
No, it's a library, so you can just take it out.
How long before I have to bring it back?
Are you speaking to Mildred now?
Yeah.
So you head on over and you see Mildred. She's just heading back to the librarian's desk. You come. How do you approach Mildred?
Quietly and respectfully.
Okay, so you kind of you think that you're tiptoeing as quiet as like a mouse. And you're not wearing your armor or anything like that. So you actually
Can I do a stealth roll?
Yes, you can.
Can I do one as well?
Yes, absolutely. And you're not wearing your armor, so it's not with disadvantage.
It's a natural 20. 26.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Jeez.
I'll probably scare the shit out of her.
She doesn't actually see you coming. Anything else, and she would have seen you coming.
Of all the rolls where you're probably not bothered about rolling anything, and I roll a natural 20.
Yeah. What did you roll, Maureen?
I I got a 14, but I feel that that's been blown away by the fact that Simon is so happy for a natural 20. I love it.
The natural 20 is it's actually enough to keep you both quiet as you both kind of go up behind her, and she doesn't hear you coming. So you kind of you stood right behind her at this point.
So I want to get her attention without actually making any noise.
Yeah, without giving her a heart attack.
So
Yeah, so I'm gonna gently tap her on the shoulder.
okay,
Good lord.
you tap her on the shoulder and she turns immediately. It's almost like you didn't see her turn around. It's almost a really quick stuff. Turns and she faces you.
Turns on a sixpence.
Yeah, she's this look on her face, but then as as quiet as you were, there's almost like an impressed look on her face, almost like she's actually quite proud that you managed to get up behind her so quietly. It doesn't turn off the extreme stern look, but you can sense a little bit of pride there. She then speaks, as you she says, "What do you want?"
May I borrow this book?
Keep your voice down, dear. And she speaks through almost she's barely opening her mouth as she speaks, and the sounds that come out are audible, but almost like they're not audible from anywhere around this little bubble that you're in. She's learned how to control her voice to keep it within like a few feet of her. She says, "Yes, of course, you can borrow the book. Do you have an account with us?"
I'm gonna
We
whisper.
are friends of Alric.
Alric, you say?
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
well.
I wasn't paying attention before now.
Sorry?
Sorry, what? Sorry, just not paying attention.
Where the hell did Gareth come from?
You're at a tavern. You went into a tavern. You are getting wasted.
There's also Gareth now has a favourite brand of whiskey. It's known as Bear Puncher.
I can do that.
Okay. Right, we'll get to you in just a second, Gareth. Okay, well, just while they finish off with
fine.
Mildred. So, okay, friends of Alric. Very well. I need your name.
I am Mulrin Orgrasper.
Mulrin or Grasper. And you, the one that wants to borrow the book, the Melora book.
I'm gonna whisper really quietly.
Okay.
Really, really quietly.
Keep your voice down, dear. She writes your name down. Yes. Right. You may borrow the book for 3 days.
3 days.
And make sure you have it back in good condition, please. Understood?
I'm just gonna nod.
Yeah, me too. I won't even cast Mending on all of the books, so they go back in pristine condition.
Not too pristine, though. The age of a book shows personality, please. Now,
Oh,
keep your voice down, please. Is there anything else I can do for you?
I'm gonna shake my head.
Don't shake your head so vigorously, dear, please.
Alright, I'm just gonna stand there and do nothing at all.
She looks at Moran and goes, "He's a little uptight, this one, isn't he?"
He is amongst the most boisterous and happy half-elves I have ever met. But at times he gets very worried about protocol.
As you're having this conversation with Mildred, you notice the half-elven lad just walking past with a mug of honey tea, and he just goes past and just gives you a nod. and Mildred kind of goes, "Stop clinking that saucer, thank you." And he kind of like, and goes quickly and tries to keep his cup quiet. Is there anything
Might
else
have
I can
silence
do
off.
for you? What was
No,
that?
we will return. We will return these books within 3 days. Thank you.
Thank you.
Phil,
Yes.
what I would like to do now is, as stealthily as possible, head to the exit of the library. Now, what is the door like in the door between the outside of the library and the inside of the library? Describe it. And is it in sight of Mildred? And what's the layout like?
It's like an arched double oak door. Whitewood oak door. So a whitewood door. It's well oiled because Mildred doesn't like noise, so she keeps it very well oiled. So opening the door itself shouldn't make too much noise.
Right. I'm gonna sneak as quietly as I can to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Once Mulrin's gone through, I'm gonna turn across, face Mildred across the length of the library, and I'm gonna say, "Thanks for the book, Mildred. I'll be back in 3 days." I'm gonna slam the door really loud.
There is a look of shock and horror on her face as you do this, and there is no response in verbal. There is no verbal response. There is just daggers that meet you from across the empty library as you shout, and then you slam the door and you no longer see her. But
as hard as I can, so it shakes.
Morin will turn to Aylar when he's done that and say, "Oh, there was something else for you that I got from the library, and I'm going to use prestidigitation to make the image of a snake and just make it shush on his lips, shh, like as we walk, and like you're keeping that until we go back to the estate." Nosy bastard.
Right, so you guys heading back to the Whitewood estate.
Yes, I
Yeah.
imagine we've had the conversation with Raujin that's our digs while we're in town.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hang on, so say that again. What are you doing?
Heading back to the Whitewood estate. I'm assuming like we would have had a discussion with Raujin that's our digs while we're in
Yes,
town.
yeah, that's what you'll have done. Yeah, so that's that's happened already. So yeah, you head over to the Whitewood estate, and you can call it a night there if you two want it. It is late. You're looking at about 10:30, 11 o'clockish. So it's getting on. Korvax, are you in bed already?
We do some reading.
Okay, Morven's going to do a bit of reading for a bit.
Yeah, I will as well.
I'll have gone to the kitchens and just seen if there was any staff around and just asking if they've got any kind of meat offcuts or anything like that.
Kitchens are actually closed at this point. It's not like a hotel run house that there are.
No, I appreciate that. It's just more if there's any staff around and
I'll cook you something up, Corvax. It's fine.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not for me. I'm fine. It's
I
for
know.
this little guy.
I know.
Well, how about I'm just going to hold my hand up towards Raljin. How about you pop on Raljin's shoulder and tell him what you want? If that's okay, Raljin?
I mean, I don't think I can understand him, but
Well, I'm sure he can make himself known as to what he wants. Kind of point in the general direction.
He jumps up onto your shoulder, Raljin, and it's a little bit of this. It's not too heavy, but you notice him there, and he just kind of looks around. Are you in the kitchens?
yeah.
Yeah. So is there like a larder?
Oh yeah, there's like there's a ladder. It's a huge kitchen because we're pretentious.
Okay, of course. So Lynx is with you as well.
Yeah. You want a late night snack, girl?
Sure. He can have some of my food if he wants.
Let's cook something up.
Phil, I've just messaged you something on Facebook.
Yeah, making me think of stuff now. You walk through into the larder, and pick out some of Lynx's food, which Lynx eats quite well. As being the cat of a noble, so she's got some already sort of like jarred up sort of like preserved meats and things. And you take that and take it through into the dining area, and obviously it's quite dark at this point. There's no one else around. It's just obviously Korvax, Raljin, Lynx, and the dragon. And you kind of place it down onto the ground and pour some out, and you pour some out for Lynx, and you get another bowl, and you place that down, and you put some on the floor for the dragon, for the pseudo dragon. So I do apologise. And upon seeing the food, and with your gesture, Raljin, gesturing to the food being for him, he makes sort of like a very happy, excited sound, sort of like, and kind of jumps down. And as he makes the sound, there's a reverberation of the sound, sort of like bouncing off the walls of the dining hall, which kind of like is heard throughout, almost as if it can be heard throughout the house of this happy call of this pseudo dragon, as it jumps down and starts feasting on the meats from the bowl.
I'm gonna laugh, and while Raljin's still bent down putting the bowl down, I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulders. Well, you've just given him his name.
Oh?
Oh, it echoed, didn't it? How do you like that, little guy? Echo.
Happy noises come from the pseudo dragon's mouth as he looks up at you, and then goes straight back down to the food.
We should be known as Echo and the Bunnymen.
That's a nice name, that.
I'm just gonna lean up against one of the kind of kitchen surfaces and just smile. It's been a good day.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need much sleep, so I'm quite happy to stay up a bit longer. But if you're wanting to attend sermon tomorrow morning, you should probably get some rest.
I'm used to going with a little less sleep, but can't imagine us getting any scraps unless Garroth picks a fight at the pub. I'm gonna wince slightly at the thought.
Raljin. Raljin, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is, let me see, passive perception is 15.
15. Yeah, I mean, it's not stealthy at all. You hear from the larder that you've just come out of, you hear what sounds like jars clinking around in the larder.
I will go look.
Okay. You head on over, and you look in, and you see what appears to be Dosky. He's in there, and he's looking around and sort of moving jars out the way, trying to. And he turns around and sees you. Goes, "Oh, hey, Raljin. Where do you keep like the meat sticks and the potato, like the dried potato crispy things?"
I'm gonna walk up behind Raljin with a meat cleaver and just say, "You want me to shank him for theft?"
Whoa! No, I'm here collecting food on the request of the lady. Your sister, she wants food.
I just glare daggers at him.
It's not like, I mean, she wanted me to come back. She was upset. After the funeral, she can get quite emotional. So I offered to keep her company. So we've just been chatting, and she said go and get some of the meat and the potato chips. So I said I would go and get it. I'm being a gentleman. I'm trying to be nice. Please don't hurt me. Please tell your goblin friend not to hurt me.
Say nothing, and I just stare.
He kind of slowly reaches his hand up to the shelf and goes, "Hey, look, I found the potato chips."
Don't you have duty tomorrow?
Yeah. I mean, not early duty. I'm on midday.
4 a.m. start, wasn't it, Ralgin? 4 a.m. start, wasn't it, Ralgin?
I don't have any say in the matter, but I'll just say, I was just say, it's getting kind of late.
Yeah. Okay. Would you give these to Rel? He kind of hands the crisps over to you. Yeah? Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes. I'll see you tomorrow.
Maybe.
Hmm? What did you say?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, sure. Terrible, and I say goodnight. And he goes out and he leaves.
As he's leaving, I'll just say, make sure you keep your windows closed.
Yeah, sure. Joker. And he leaves. Huh. Interesting.
Once the door slams shut, I'm going to just look at Ralgin and just crack up laughing.
Poor Dosky. He's a nice guy.
I said I was trying to be nice, Ralgin. I'm not going to get it right all the time. I'm just going to put the meat cleaver back.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, creeping around my sister after a funeral. What kind of? That's just disgusting.
I'm going to start reaching for the cleaver again. You want me to shank him?
No. He's not a bad guy, but I mean, how tacky is that?
Anyway, we cut across to the Hollow Tree Inn, where Garroth, you've been regaling in many drinks by yourself. You've just kind of split off from the party and gone to have drinks at the Hollow Tree and getting yourself some of that Bear Puncher whiskey and enjoying some of that. Is there anything you want to do while you're there?
Right. Drink.
Drink. You've had plenty to drink. In fact, let me just see how drunk you are. Give me a Constitution roll.
I haven't got my dice.
Oh, I'll roll for you then. That's a 4. Well, what are your pluses on Constitution?
That's a 6.
A 6. All right, you're pretty drunk.
I'm very drunk. When I get drunk, I look for honourable combat, and this place is full of fucking elves.
Actually, as you do look around, you do notice a familiar face within the crowd. And let me just get my where are my NPCs. I'll be able to tell you who it is.
Mostly, by the way.
Sorry?
Mostly humans, by the way.
Yeah, it is mostly humans, yeah. You do notice the familiar face of Paolo Sampa, who's the soldier that you met in the Temple of Cord. He's sat with some of the other Astronaut Guard who are all off duty now, and they're all in their civvies, and they're all sort of like sitting having a drink, and you just see them all enjoying themselves, sort of like singing away with some of the ale. Yeah, they all seem to be almost just as inebriated as you are.
I'm gonna go over to them, and I'm just I remember.
I remember you as well. Good to see you again. Are you ready for us to spar in the morning?
It's in the morning.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Not in the morning, I'll say midday. But who can tell these days?
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what I could do with that? Look, I might have had a little bit of a drink. Pointed back to a table with probably about 5 empty bottles.
Yeah.
I had a little drink, but you know what? I've missed this. Like, cause, and I'm going to sit down. Like, I want to drink and celebrate. Like, I've had a lot of battles and shit. And you know what? Fuck it. Before we fight, we're drinking this out. Come on.
All right, I can do that. You can drink and be merry. What do you say, lads? We're gonna welcome. What do we call you again?
Gareth of the Slaughtergoth. In the north, they call me the south. And in the east, they call me the west.
That must get bloody confusing. Tell you what, we're just gonna call you. We'll just call you Gareth. How does that sound?
That's fine. I like that. I've
Yeah.
already forgotten your name.
It's all right. See, my name is Paolo, but my friends call me the Bear Puncher. Did you know? That's what the whiskey's named after. They're named after me, and then the whiskey after me. Did you know that?
After me.
Pardon?
I'm on a quest to become king. But I've never really thought about it, but I want an ale or a whiskey named after me.
You want a drink named after you? I have to say, it is an honour. It is an honour to have a drink named after me, the man that wrestled a bear barehanded with me fists, and I took it down. I let it go because I'm not a fiend, but I did that. And Barkeep named the Bear Puncher after me.
Well, I did that when I was little.
No, you said this. You said this before, and like I said, that was domesticated. It was tame. Now, you want to prove yourself to me, and the lads, and they're all sort of sat there, and they're kind of still they're drinking, but it's almost like as Paolo's sort of gone on this whole thing about wrestling a bear, they're almost like, yeah, we've had this before, Paolo. Right, shut up. It's like if you want to prove yourself, how about we go off into the White Woods and we find a bear, and you wrestle the bear, and then you can be the bear wrestler, and we can get you a drink named after you. What do you say?
I'll get a drink named after me if I do this.
It depends. It's like it depends on. I punched the bear. I got Bear Puncher, and
the bear?
sorry.
Well, I could be the bear kicker.
If you want to, you could be the bear kicker. Barkeep, and you see. Let me get my NPC list. You see a human male walk over. It's like shaved head, but he's kind of got hints of red hair in. It's all like in his scraggly beard. And it's about in his 50s, 5'11". He kind of walks over. It's like, yeah. It's like, if I get this orc here, half orc, if I get this half orc here to go and kick a bear, I want to kick a bear. Can he get like a drink named like the Bear Kicker? Can you do that? He's like, sure, if you want. I mean, my brothers.
I'm not trying to, underestimate like the Bear Puncher or anything, but like I have killed a dragon. It's sort of kicking the bear seems a bit underwhelming after that. Could you just get straight to get me an ale called like Dragon Slayer or something?
I mean, generally we give out ales to people that have we prove that they've done it. You see, Paolo here, it was witnessed. There was one person that witnessed him, punch the bear. So that I don't really know why we named the ale after you, pal. It's like, you did it because I'm awesome. You did it because I'm awesome, and I punched a bear. Let's be honest. It's like, yeah, we were low on beer names, on whiskey names. So,
Hello.
sorry.
It's the barkeep here who has to decide if I get an ale. So, barkeep, go on. What do I need to do to get a kick-ass ale?
I don't know.
Well,
You
Pure
could.
Dragon, do I need to... I don't know. What else have I killed? I killed 3 giants single-handedly.
3 giants, you say?
Yeah.
You have any proof of that?
All my friends saw me do it.
Yeah. Tell you what. I mean, I'm working on a dark stout at the moment. It's not, it's not got a name yet, but I don't know. I could call it the Triple Giant Slayer, provided that you get someone with credibility to come and talk to me that can tell me with honesty, within a zone of truth, that you killed 3 giants single-handedly.
Like, say, for example, Raojin.
I mean, yeah. If you know the noble.
Get up my chair, I just burst out the door.
Oh, no.
Where did he go? I don't know. You march your way through. Give me an intelligence check to see if you remember. See if you get lost or not. See if you remember where the Whitewood estate is. Does someone need to roll for you?
I'm trying to roll, but it's not. I'm on a bed. 11.
11. You are wandering around.
Sorry, 11 with my intelligence
-2.
is 9.
9. You are wandering around Ashenoak for about an hour, looking for where Rousing. You get to the place like, where did he say he lived? And you start wandering around.
And buildings. Raojin.
Yes, you walk. Yeah, you go into random houses, like houses that you think look posh, and like knocking on the door, and like sleepy nobles like looking at you like, yeah. And you're like, is Raojin home? And you're like, no, no. And like they just close the door, and like one of them, after about an hour of knocking on doors, one of them just goes, right, you like Asheno, Raojin Whitewood, the Whitewood. On the hill. That house on the hill, up there, and he's pointing towards this huge, like, estate up on the hill. That you can't miss it. In fact, from every single point in the town, you look up and you can see this house. He's like, it lives up there.
Did I call this or not?
Pardon?
I give him a fermented yak's milk, and then I run towards the house.
You go
Did I call this or did I call this?
I don't know. Did you call this?
What, that he'd get lost?
Oh yeah, you definitely called that. You go running up towards the house, and there is actually 2 guards on the gate, but they know who you are, so they just let you through. And you get up to the house, and the door is open, because there is a guard on the door, but they let you in because that's they've been told to let you through.
Just run in and scream, Raojin!
Now this is some considerable time later. Actually, this would be shortly after you've just got home and just sent Dosky home. So, Raojin, where will you be in your house at this point? So directly after the events that Dosky has given you the like a box of like dry potato salted crisps, essentially. Straight after him giving you those, do you put them back in the larder and go to bed? What do you do?
I'd probably be on my way up to throw them at my sister.
Okay.
And then, I'll go, just before I do that, I say, if you don't want to, go to bed yet, Corvax. We can talk in the library.
Library? I'm just my ears are gonna perk up. Today
Yes.
just gets better and better.
So I just need to give these. Oh God, is that Garroth?
Yeah, you you hear Garroth's voice booming into the house.
What have you done?
So Garroth, you were approached by Raljin, who looks really grumpy.
Gin, brilliant. You can see he's a bit swaying a bit. Right, I grabbed him by the shoulder and I said, "You remember that time I killed them 3 giants on my own?"
Yeah, that was really clever of you. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. But you saw it, right? You can say like it happened, and like people will accept your word.
I mean, I guess.
Right, I thought I'd grab him. Right, we have to go to like, the tavern right now. Because
no.
if you tell them that I did that, right, they're going to make an ale for me.
Okay, right, fine, fine. We can do that, but let's leave it until the morning, okay?
Don't know if we'll stay for that long. Is there a time limit on these offers?
No, it's fine. We'll
I
go in
don't
the
think you
morning.
understand, right? This would be my greatest accomplishment in life if I get an ale named after me.
Okay, yeah, fine. I, I'll go down to the tavern, whichever one it was, in the morning, and I will vouch for you. But it's been a long day. I'm tired, and I would really, really like to get some rest at some point soon.
Right. All right. Yeah, I guess you can wait till morning.
And uh, all right, if we if we do this now,
Mhm.
are you going to come right back home and go straight to bed?
Deal.
All right. Kovacs, the library's down the hall
Oh,
to
no,
the
I've
left.
got to see this. I'm gonna whistle to come on, Echo, let's go have some fun. So,
Oh,
for Garroth's benefit, when I say "come on, Echo," you see this little pseudo dragon kind of dart out, fly, and then just land and perch on my shoulder.
Oh, you
Link,
got a larval pet too. Does he talk?
No,
Link,
but he flies.
Starts flying.
Links.
For it, do you want to make like a new friend or something?
Sure. You know, we could have some scintillating conversation, I guess. I don't speak Draconic, though. Do you? Nah.
Yes.
Sure you do. Sure you do, big guy. So,
I,
go on, Raljin.
I, yeah, I kneel down. I go to Links because I just realised that Roland doesn't actually know Links can talk yet.
No,
So,
no.
so I go to Links. I go, Links, would you mind taking these to my sister?
Sure.
I put the bag near her mouth for her to open and sort of
Yeah,
eat and carry.
yeah.
You remember where her room is, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Okay. My only regret is I'm going to miss this.
Oh no, Gareth, we've got to wait just 2 minutes, Gareth.
All
Okay.
right, we can wait 2 minutes.
Lynx goes off and disappears upstairs. There's, you
I
hear
follow
like a...
behind,
Sorry?
just not. I follow behind, not super close, but just close enough that I'm still within hearing range. Because it's the big house.
Yeah. You see sort of Lynx paw at the door. And, Relan sort of goes, she kind of like goes, oh, where's Dosky? She bends down and takes the box and goes, oh, thanks, girl. And then Lynx goes, you're welcome. She goes, you can talk! It's on this high pitch, and this like high pitched noise of this fright is almost like she's just seen a ghost, and it's like just like freaked out by the situation.
That
goes-
was good.
Like, yeah, I've been able to talk for some time, and we went to this place. I went in and I couldn't talk, but then when I came out, I could talk, and yeah, it was really good. She's like, Raljin! You emerge from around the corner. It's like, how long has Lynx been able to talk?
About a month, maybe a bit more.
You didn't think that you should have told me when you arrived?
It never came up because you shot me in the backside.
Oh,
Just gonna make a jump in here and just go like, doesn't she know that like all animals can talk? For it, what do you think?
oh yeah. Well, not all animals can talk, but me and Lynx can. I guess all animals can talk in their own way because they talk in their own languages. But
Obviously, wink at him. No. Like, all animals can talk.
I think you've had too much to drink, mate. She ain't gonna fall for that. She's more intelligent than that. And she's just like looking at Furret, like, and then looks over at Korvax that's got Echo on his shoulder and says, "Does the dragon talk as well?"
Yep.
In Draconic, I'm just going to tickle under his chin.
And yeah, you just kind of make some clicking noises. Like, Raljin,
Yeah,
where's Dosky?
he went home.
He just
went
left.
home. Yeah, don't know what that was about.
What? We were just talking. Right. You look at her now, and she generally has like kind of like almost like a sad look on her face. Right. Oh. I thought he was one of the good ones. Oh well, at least I got the chips. I'm gonna go to bed. Don't send any more talking animals my way, please, Raljin.
Sure thing, Annie. Sure thing.
Don't want to hear any talking pigeons. She closes the door.
Well, I feel better for that.
You're totally one up now, I have to say. Come on, Gareth, let's get you a beer named after you.
So you head on out of the Whitewood estate. It's getting on for about midnight-ish at this point. You head on down round through the streets until you eventually get to the Hollow Tree Tavern or the Hollow Tree Inn, which is the cheapest one in town, essentially. And as you get there, Paolo sort of is still sat there with thinking, although he's a bit drunker now. He's like, he looks in as Gareth walks in and sees the rest of you sort of in tow. He's like, "Hey, you finally arrived. Yeah, we thought you'd got lost, or that you knew that you were lying about being a killer of three giants and ran away."
Lord of the Realm. Also, I got Korvax. He was there too. So, tell him what I did with the giants. 'Cause it's cool.
Yeah, this is a story that we gotta hear. Gather around, lads. Like, sit down. Sit down. There's no chair for you. Sit on the floor. Sit down there. All right. And he sits on the table, and he's like, right, regale us with your tale.
Well, I don't think I've ever actually been in here before. Huh.
No, we don't really get your kind in here, but it's fine. We're happy to treat you. I don't run the place. I just spend a lot of time here, but we're happy to treat you as one of our own. If you want a drink, let's get him a drink, barkeep. Evan,
No,
Evan,
I'm not stopping.
get the noble a drink, please. He's like, sure. And he goes off and he's like, I'm listening to this story though. I want to know what happened. He's like, yeah.
Okay, so-
Tell the story and do not spare on the details. I want to know about decapitations. I want to know about castrations. I want to know about all of the Asians. Off you go.
Well, we were on the road and we came across a caravan that had been attacked, and then Gareth, using an invisibility spell that a temporary companion of ours was cast on him, he snuck up and found that there was these three giants, and I kind of followed.
I'm just going to stop you there.
You know.
As you're telling the story, the bard that's in the corner of the tavern comes up with his lute and starts playing a tune along with what you're saying. And after you say certain things, he almost repeats some of the stuff that you're saying. So as you go, we were on the road. He goes, they were on the road, ding 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 ding. And then and you say, yeah, and we came across a carriage. Came across a carriage, diddling ding ding. There were these giants, 3 dirty giants, diddling ding. And Gareth. Pardon? and Gareth turned invisible. Invisible, he was unseen. Diddling ding. Carry on.
So yeah, basically I'll regale the story.
No. We need to hear the story. I'm prepared for this.
All right. Okay. So sorry, where was I?
You just told us that Gareth had turned invisible.
Oh yeah. So I followed along.
He followed along with his companions.
Gareth also snuck up on the giants.
Like a stealth in the night, he snuck up on them giants, all the blight. Sorry, come on.
And he used his cunning to make them turn on each other.
They didn't see it coming. His unwittingly cunning.
And then once two were dead, once one had died, he took on the last two and killed both.
He took one out, then another and another, and they were all dead. Yeah, this is Scamlin, by the way.
I wish I was there for this.
The mighty green orc took his axe and, well, he didn't have a fork, but he killed them. It was easy. So easy. Carry on. Is that the end of the story?
All I was told is that you wanted someone who had witnessed it to tell you that it happened.
I can fill in some details if that's what you want.
And then the orc decided to fill us in on the dirty details.
That's not part of the part of the giant part.
But that's not part of the story. Go on.
Right, well, there was these 3 giants, right, and I was invisible, like.
3
so
dirty giants, and the half orc came unseen.
So I kind of was thinking, I'm pretty tough, I could probably take them, but it'd be a really hard fight. But I was being clever, because I think I am possibly, not trying to toot my horn or anything here, but the smartest person in our group.
He used his vast intelligence, and that's something that we think is so obscene.
So I went hiding while invisible, right? And pretended to be one of them, like insulting the others, and they both like killed that one. And then when one of my friends stole their horses, I had one of them pretend to blame the other one. And they killed them, like fought and killed each other again. And then there was only one left.
And you killed it.
And then, and then because I was thinking, yeah, I could take him now. I charged him. I struck him across the head. He fell to the ground. And then I looked him dead in the eyes and I said, not that. And I said, this is the first day of the last day of your life. And then I killed him with the axe as I split his head apart.
The triple giant slayer. Oh, what a player. He took that giant down. Now, let's pass the drinks around. He plays his final bit on his lute, and as he does that, the bartender, the barkeep, Evan, who was impressed by this story halfway through Raljin telling it, had gone into the back and brought out the keg which he had been working on of this dark stout, and he says, "1 round on the house of the Triple Giant Slayer for everybody."
Oh, this is like one of the best days ever. I got my own barbaric folktale song, and I've got an ale, and it's brilliant. And I'm gonna grab both Kovacs and Raujin and thrust them in a hug.
I'm going to look over at the bard and just say, you should ask him about how he killed an undead dragon. He's wearing
hey.
its head on his shoulder.
Hey, I killed that.
He fought it as well. It was both of you.
Wait. You. This is Paolo now. You, the noble's son. Yeah. Well, I know you, Raljin. You killed a black undead dragon.
Well, technically it was me, but like, okay, you shoot one arrow into it. That's not counting.
I shot more than one arrow. I dealt the final blow. Don't be mad that I dealt the final blow, Garroth.
That's out of order. I did actually deliver the final blow.
You didn't actually. It was Raljin that killed the final blow. You went in and desecrated the corpse.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Who was already dead.
Yeah, and all this was happening while I was tangling with the head honcho wizard dude. Wasn't
Yes.
it? 'Cause I was getting my ass kicked.
That's actually pretty impressive that you did that. And you two, and he points at Garroth and Kovacs. You two, you witnessed this.
Well, I think I was the one that killed it.
It was a joint effort from both of you, but Garroth, he did get the killing blow, which normally, to be fair, you do get when we're tangling with other things.
That's pretty good. I think we should all raise a drink. There needs to be an excuse, obviously, for a drink. To the Whitewood boy and his friends, Garroth and his friend that I don't know the name of. Cheers! And they sort of raise a glass of the Triple Giant Slayer Dark Stout, and they all start drinking, and you all have a great night. Apart from Raljin, who just watches everyone drink it.
Okay, Garroth, remember what we promised.
Straight to bed.
Wait, are you going? Are you going?
Raljin, you've got to say that.
I've got to honour it. I said I would go straight to bed after this. So I will drink my stout and then I will go to bed.
He will be back in the morning for more. Because actually, probably in the afternoon, because he's got.
As long as you're not late for our little tango in the morning.
Yeah. Just a question. He's famous because he punched out a bear, right?
That's me. Yeah, I am famous.
So
I'm the bear puncher.
is that considered to be more impressive than punching out a bear?
I guess if you're looking at from one-upmanship, if you punch out the person that punched out the bear, you could be the bear puncher. Puncher.
Right, I'm happy with that. Yep, I will see you in that fighting ring. Is it like unarmed, or is it like I'm allowed to cut you up?
We're doing this unarmed, but no
Right,
weapons.
Fair enough.
All right. Okay.
I don't suppose you're a great weapon master with unarmed, can you?
No. Fisticuffs.
I'm going to call off, guys, but I will see you all next week. There's been an ace little session.
That's been good. I like a good downtime session. By the way, thank you for the bear puncher whiskey because that totally led me into this part of this story with the ale and getting an ale named after Gareth. That's brilliant.
Yeah, the bear
Yeah,
puncher.
this is completely your fault.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
That's great. Right. Well,
You're
we'll see
welcome,
you.
Mike.
We'll see you next week. Then Ash.
You will take care, everyone. See you soon.
See you soon, man. Bye.
Bye.
So, yeah, Maureen's gone to sleep then. I'm not gonna. I won't have the session won't be lasting too much longer because I don't want to go into too much after this. We'll say that after you eventually finish off drinking your stout and you, as promised, go to bed. Is there anything that anyone wants to do before bed? Are we all done? Okay. It's been a long day and a long night, so sleep is well deserved. I think after this one.
I'll make sure I ask one of the servants for a morning call.
Okay.
So I want to be up at 4:30, which I'm aware is like probably 3 hours from now. By the
Okay.
time we get there.
Well.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to be point of fatigue tomorrow, and I'm going to be feeling rough.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me. So, you wake up the next morning, and you're heading to service, and we'll come to you. We'll come to you shortly. I might have to. Yeah. We'll do the things in order of how they happen then. So we'll go to you first, Korvax. Then. So you wake up in the morning, and it's about 4:30. You've given your wake up call. You hear a knock on your door.
That was a mistake last night. I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to kind of creep out from kind of under Gareth's arm. I'll just kind of hold my hand out to Echo. Do you want to come for the service?
He flies over and lands on your arm.
I'll grab my my second best shirt from my pack, and the only thing I'm taking with me is my coin purse.
Okay.
The first time in a long time, there's no hats, there's no dagger, there's no weapons. Literally just me and my coin purse.
Okay. So you head on over to the Temple of Ioun very early in the morning, and you are actually, as you get there, the doors are actually closed and locked because you get there just before 5 in the morning, so it's not actually opened yet. After about 5 minutes of waiting, as the clock would hit 5 o'clock, the doors you hear and the doors open, and the doors open on the other side. You see Alric stood there in his sermon robes. He says, "Ah, bright and early. How long have you been stood there?"
About 5 minutes, not long.
Well, I hope you're ready for some work. We've got a few hours before the actual services start, but yes, follow me, and he leads you in. As you walk in, you notice that on one of the tables in the library area there is it's like a round table, and there are books stacked on there. It says, "These are all fresh in from our new intake, and we need them placing within the library." It's our first job today, organising the knowledge and making sure that it's all put in the correct place and that knowledge is updated. Any books that succeed their predecessors need to be replaced, and the old knowledge brought off, the new knowledge placed on. Do you think you can manage that?
No problems. I managed Dondon's acquisitions for quite some time.
Very well. I will leave you with this job for now. You'll be happy to know that Mildred is off duty now. She's gone home to bed. So the library should be quite quiet for now. So I'll come and see you in a couple of hours. If you're done before then, come and see me. But I doubt you will be. It can take a while, especially to navigate the library.
I'm gonna literally work my ass off. I want to get this done in like an hour.
Okay, you can try. So Alric is then going to head off.
Proudly wearing my symbol out for the first time.
Alric's going to head off, and as you go to sort of like shift for the books, there's someone else there that you didn't notice because they were behind a pile of books. They've got a quill and they've got some scrolls out and they've got some of the books open and they're sort of like writing. She's an elf female, sort of with blonde hair that's kind of worn in a bun that kind of also sort of comes down the back of her neck. She's got quite pretty features. She's quite young, so you're probably in her 20s. Yeah, she's looking quite studious. She's wearing robes of Ayun as well. She looks like she's copying and updating some scrolls as she's sort of writing away.
I'm going to stealthily go over. I just want to take a peek at what she's writing.
Okay.
17, 18, 19, 20, 25 on stealth.
Yeah, 25. She doesn't notice. You kind of sneak around and get a glimpse. She's writing something in Elvish. Do you speak Elvish? Do you read Elvish?
I do. I've got Orcish and Elvish and Goblin in common as my language.
Okay, so she's got one book open, which it just appears to be it's quite a standard book. It's a book on farming. It's not major, but what she's doing is she's rewriting a passage from the book, and she's also got like another scroll next to it which has extra information which she's then writing in. The paper itself matches the paper that's inside the book, so you can kind of guess that the process is rewrite it, update the knowledge, and put the new knowledge within the bound within the book. And that's kind of what she's doing at the moment. She's got a pile of several books and several scrolls there that she appears to be working on.
I'm gonna just smile, and I'm gonna go make a cup of tea, and I'm gonna make two, one for me, and one for the elf. I'm gonna make sure I put a spoonful of honey in hers, and I'll wake her up with a tea, just gently. I don't want to startle her.
Okay, well she's not asleep; she's writing. But
oh, okay.
Yeah,
she was asleep.
No, she's writing. Okay. She's quite quite into it. So she's she's not noticed what's going on, but she sees you kind of place the tea down. She looks up and goes, "Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Oh, this for me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. I was much appreciated. I hadn't had a chance to have breakfast or anything this morning, so this is nice. Ooh, that's sweet. Thank you.
Put on honey. I'm gonna neck half of mine, put it down, and I'll just kind of offer my arm out for Echo to run down. If you want some tea, help yourself.
He starts drinking some of your tea. Is that a pseudo dragon?
It is. It's a gift from my father.
Oh, aren't you just adorable? Oh, what's his name?
He is. Echo.
Oh, it's a lovely name. Oh.
So, I've been instructed to clear this. So, seems
you-
you're already an
you-
expert here.
You drew the short straw.
Call it penance, and yes, I deserved it.
Well, Lindariel, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Kovacs.
Nice to meet you, Korvax. Um, are you new to the temple?
This temple, but I have been in others over my time,
Hmm.
so I'm used to working and filing. So just tell me where you want me to start.
Oh, well, this temple. Which part of the Commonwealth do you hail from?
The north. What was my hometown again? The capital.
That's actually in the kingdom, which is in the south east from here, or more eastward from here. So the Commonwealth
I
is
thought
where you are.
Ashnoke was down there.
So
thought
Ashenuk is more inland, and
Oh, right.
Anira is more sort of like a southeastern direction.
Oh, okay.
If you look on the map.
Yeah. So I'll just tell her the capital of the Commonwealth.
You mean the kingdom?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, you're from Anira.
Mhm.
Well,
Actually,
welcome to.
Do you see the big new statue outside?
Yes. I had noticed that it appeared. I hadn't had chance to ask Arik about it. I heard there was a service last night, though. He must have been a great man to have
He was.
a pillar.
I'm just gonna kind of stroke Echo and just say, yeah, he was my father.
Oh. Well, I will be sure to go out and pay my respects, and learn more about him. I'm sure that his plaque will give me any information I need, and then I will make it a priority to learn more about the newest pillar of Ayun. Because well, there are very few of them, and only the best actually get a place there. I hope to. It's a dream, but I hope to maybe get there one day myself. A lot of dedication and
why.
service.
That's why I'm here.
Well, I hate to cut our conversation short, but if you want to earn a pillar, I suggest going to work.
So, which stack do you want me to start with?
Well, this pile is mine. There's like 5 piles of books, each with about 8 to 12 books in each pile. Those are yours. Might take
Okay.
you a couple of hours, especially and maybe a few if you don't know the library very well. So maybe get to work with that. One thing I will tell you is the piles are not organized. So one thing I would do if you want to speed up your work is maybe organize the piles into categories before taking them. It really helps, and then you can put them on the cart. You can take them to the certain areas, and after that, then you can come back and keep going. That might shave a few minutes.
Okay. So I'll start organising. Is there any names of the books that jump out at me?
Give me an investigation roll, Azure, or a perception, because it's just names that you're looking at. Perception.
Okay, so 17, 20.
20. Okay. There is actually one book that is actually written by Arik himself. Memoirs from the Temple, which is it's like an updated thing, and you can tell that this one is actually recently bound. So you can tell that Lindariel has probably recently bound this one and put it on the pile. So it's one that Arik updates quite a lot. So there's that. There aren't very many other names there that you recognise, unfortunately. None that jump out at you. There's just a few authors that they're all non-fiction. There's no fiction there. It's all knowledge-based books rather than entertainment value books. So yeah, give me an intelligence roll now to see if you can see how long it takes you to put the books into piles based on where they need to go.
It's not as good. It's 14.
14. It does take you a while. So yeah, as you're doing that, it actually takes you about 45 minutes just to get the books into the right piles. You're kind of looking and thinking, oh, you're not quite sure if a certain book is in reference to farming or lumber, so you kind of like you kind of put it down. And there's other books that the titles are slightly ambiguous, so you have to kind of like go through them to see if you can find out exactly what they're about before you place them into the right place, and you put that down. And some of them you can't tell because of your limited religion. You're not entirely sure on whether it's talking about gods or like demons, for example. So you kind of like, yeah, you're not entirely sure. So it takes you a while. Lindariel doesn't help in that. She's far too busy with her own work, so she kind of just kind of getting on. So about 45 minutes pass, and you've finally got them into piles that you think are right. Give me another intelligence roll now, and we'll see how long it takes you to actually get the books and put them in their respective places.
Straight intelligence, or would it be investigation as well? Because I'm investigating where they should be going.
I'll allow it. Yeah, investigation.
Okay, so 16 on dice with the with the other thing. It's dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, so the first part was a slug. Sorry. It took you a while. The next part goes a little easier. Having put the books into the correct categories, it definitely made the job easier for you to do. It was very good advice from Lindariel. So you're able to sort of go around. You put your first pile of books on. You do find that some of the books that you put into the piles, you realise that they were in the wrong place. But it helped that you'd kind of put them in there and organise them. So you're starting to put some up, and you're like, well, actually, this book doesn't belong here. So, and then you're able to sort of traffic it around to where it belongs. You find some books that are needing to be updated versions. So you take the older versions off, and you have to place the other versions on. It takes you a little over 2 hours to do the whole job. As 2 hours comes along, and you're still sort of in the middle, and you're probably working on your fourth pile, Alric will sort of come along and just sort of observe you for a while, and you don't notice him there just for a little while, but then eventually he kind of steps up and addresses you, says, "Still going then, are we?"
Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Oh, good. Usually when I set up new members with this, it takes them the day. So you're doing rather well, I have to admit. We're going to be saying some prayers soon, out by the pillars. If you wanted to join us, 15 minutes in the courtyard, and Lindariel and some of the other clergy will be coming and joining us as well. If you wish to join us.
I would be honoured.
Okay, I'll give you another 15 minutes to finish up here, and maybe don't start on the fifth pile just yet. You can probably do that later.
Okay.
He goes off, and about 15 minutes later, you head on out to the courtyard, and you see there's a group, Alric, and there's two other sort of like older clerics. They're the same ones that you actually note that you recognise from when you brought Dondon to the temple, and they took Dondon's body. And there's Lindariel and a couple of other younger looking clerics there as well. Alric reminds everybody, and I'm just going to get up my notes now because he says, hit this when I do this. Second. Get my things up. That's the wrong one. Hate it when I have to look up my notes. See, the problem is you can't remember everything. It's not that one's not there either. Sorry.
You mean DMs are fallible?
Yes, yeah. Right. It's not there. Maybe it's this one. I had it all sorted, and then I've lost it. Must be on this one. Nope. Ah, well, I'll make it up. He brings everyone forward, and you notice how the other five that are there sort of like kneel down as Alaric sort of stands up at the podium, and you can kind of guess that that's something that they want you to do as well. So you imitate and copy as well. Alaric addresses everyone that's there and says, "We are all here under the guide of Ayun, the knowing mistress, who teaches us that the pursuit of knowledge is not enough, but to share knowledge is the greater reward. Making sure that everyone has equal access, everyone is able to bask in the knowledge that Ayun gives us. We have a responsibility to make sure that knowledge is shared and knowledge is used correctly. We make sure that those who seek to use and abuse the knowledge that is given to them are brought to justice, and that we then make sure that that knowledge is distributed carefully. We do not hide, we do not keep, we do not deny the sharing of knowledge amongst people. We merely guide and teach and ensure that they use it responsibly. These are the promises we make under the eyes of the knowing mistress." He bows his head and, almost like saying a silent prayer to himself, says, "Today we have Korvax joining our temple. This is the first temple that he has officially joined, am I right?" He addresses you and looks towards you, Korvax.
Officially, yes, but I did practice my faith with my father when we could, but being where we was, it wasn't particularly permitted.
May I ask? Stand, please.
I'll stand.
May I ask, in what way do you seek to serve the knowing mistress?
Do I get the sense he's been completely honest in
Yes.
that question?
Absolutely.
Ulrich, in any way I could, but I have a particular set of skills that may be useful to her.
And what skills would these be?
With a blade. And I'm going to say that with full conviction.
And what use do you think the knowing mistress would have with a blade wielder?
They're those who would seek to hide knowledge, use it to harm others, to enrich themselves, and not society. That can't be tolerated. While I have some skill in organizing and reading and even teaching, my true skill is with the blade.
Do you promise to bring these hoarders of knowledge, these abusers of knowledge, to justice?
I'm gonna grab my symbol. So tight it almost cuts into my skin. Yes.
Do you promise to do these things in the name of Ayun, with only good intent?
I'm gonna pause for a moment and I'm gonna look up at Dondon's pillar. Gonna shed a tear. And then look back at Ulrich and say yes.
I want you to remember that Dondon was taught that knowledge is the best measure of worth. He was a divine quality that separates all the thinking races from mere animals, and that the seeking of knowledge is the most important goal. Wealth, power, happiness may flow from knowledge, but are results rather than the ends themselves. Although Dondon, he looks up at Dondon as well, although he followed the teachings of Ayun as well, he also respected that knowledge was something that could be learned and gained, and that everyone could have access to it. Even more so than most of us. Do you promise to carry on his message?
I do.
Then I will meet you in ceremony. Not today, but soon. Once I've got permission from the other clergy in the other temples across the Commonwealth, I will prepare a ceremony. Your friends can come, witness, and you will make a promise before the knowing mistress to preserve and share knowledge in her name. As a guide, as a warrior, as a paladin of the knowing mistress. Do you accept?
In the quietest of tones that I think Korvax has ever been able to say. He says yes, and tears flow freely.
Then I will begin making preparations. He places a hand on your shoulder, and you feel a warmth, and your exhaustion's gone.
Oh.
Says, right, we're done for the day. Go enjoy yourself. And with that, I'm going to end
I've
tonight's
got work
session.
to do first. I'm going to go back into the temple and finish what I started.
Okay, all right. He watches happily as you do that, and yeah, I'm going to end tonight's session there, guys. I wanted to do some other things, but I don't want to overstretch the session. But that was a nice one. I've got some definite things for the next session, and probably Mike, probably starting off with you, but I don't know where we stand with you at the moment. But we'll see. But yeah, was that all right for you guys?
Yeah, that was great. Apologies for taking up a lot of that session, guys.
Sorry, you're cutting out a bit. I didn't catch that.
Oh right, no, sorry. Yeah, don't know what. What did you hear, Mike? Is your connection really bad? I'm going to take that as a yes. But yeah, did we all enjoy that session, guys? Has everyone else gone quiet? Yeah.
No,
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah,
I don't.
I've been
like
to the
the,
library and borrowed a book.
Yeah, you borrowed a book. You've got a book on Melora, which yeah, well, I'll give you some details about that when we next come and what you read from that. If you're going to do some reading on that in the
Yeah, I am. That's
yeah.
why I am.
So I'll give you some details on that.
Are you going paladin or are you going to go druid?
That'd be
Keeping me up-
interesting.
Are you going full fighter?
keeping my options open. It was just
Okay.
it's just a nice thematic sort of twist. His mother's now died. His mother's religion was this religion. He's inherited this armor that he's come across. The armor's actually the more in tune he is with it, the more helpful it is. It's just everything's pointing towards his religion for him.
Mm. That's
Oh,
cool.
that's fair.
It's like he's been drawn to it.
And that's great because I'm not actually purposefully doing that. I'm just kind of dropping things in and you're kind of moving towards it, which is great. I like
Yeah,
it.
he's not got a lot in his life. You guys are really his life at the minute, and
Yeah.
so anything that he's gonna see now, he's gonna sort of like be looking for sort of things, and he's been drawn towards this. His mother's, this religion, this faith brings him closer to his mother.
Yeah.
In thematic sort of terms.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. So yeah.
That's interesting because I'm going down that route now for Dondon, and you're going down it for your mother.
Mm,
Yeah. We've
yeah.
both lost, haven't we? We're both characters have lost, and that grieving process will take place in many manifestations, many ways, and yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that. So I like that session. I've got some nice stuff planned for the next session, by the way, guys. It was nice to have a nice downtime session tonight, especially when obviously Mike, you weren't here for the first half of it, and we haven't had Andy either. So it was nice when you have a few players off to do that. But yeah, just realised we are still streaming as well. Kind of get carried away with that. But yeah, for those people that might be watching us on the stream, thank you for watching. We're gonna call it crits now. But thank you for watching, and yeah, join us next week for more Call It Crits. Yeah, see you later, guys. And I'll do this.
There are